Hi, ladies. I am so excited today to talk with you all about an amazing, amazing human. I'm so excited to have come to Transcend Running Retreat. So let me introduce Amanda Ferrando with us. And Amanda is a registered yoga teacher, and she's also a Reiki master. So Amanda, thanks for being here.
Of course. Happy to be here. Happy to be a part of all of this. It's super exciting.
Yes, yes. And a little bit just about my experience with Amanda. Amanda is my ride or die yoga teacher. She has just really been part of my yoga journey and part of me growing in my yoga practice. And she is my teacher. So that's why I had to have her for the retreat. So Amanda, tell us a little bit about your journey to yoga and your journey to finding, energy work, and just tell us a little bit about how you got into, yoga.
Well, we'll take it all the way back. All the way back yonder to 2014, I think. So a couple of years out of college, and I was doing social work. I was just really stressed out from it, and I was like, I don't think this is like what I want to really be doing, or I need some kind of supplement to release my stress. And just started going to yoga. I was like, all right, let's just do this and see what the hype is all about. So I started taking yoga then, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like, I was in Cincinnati at the time, and then once I moved, like about a year, 6 months to a year later, I was in Indy looking for places to do teacher training. And then it was in early 2016 when I got certified, and was like definitely still super involved with yoga. I was like, this is what I want to do. And so I've been teaching since then. Yoga was definitely more for like the physical and like just de-stressing part of it all right at the beginning, and then it became something a little bit more like, oh, there's something bigger than myself type of thing. So I started getting interested in some of that energy work, or kind of working with the chakra system, if anyone's familiar with it. If not, totally fine. But so I started looking into that, reading up on that, and just kind of educating myself on all of that stuff. And then just as the universe kind of works, kept kind of showing me Reiki, and which is an ancient Japanese healing technique, which works on a physical, mental, and energetic level. So I just kept getting stuff coming to me about Reiki. My friends were interested in it. They were getting certified, and I was like, all right, what is this all about? So I, contacted my friend. I said, hey, what do you recommend? Went through the whole training process. So there was a full weekend for level 1 and level 2. And I was like, this is dope. I want to be a Reiki master. And then like a month or two later, I got certified at the master level. And yeah, I feel like I've been lucky enough to listen to those signs that have kind of nudged me towards this passion I have with, yoga on the physical level, the mental level, and then the spiritual kind of energy work level. And so, yeah, here I am getting to work with Whitney, doing the whole retreat. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing all that. I love that both kind of the yoga journey and your Reiki journey started with like this curiosity of like, what's this all about? Right. And that's often how things start. We start with this curiosity, and then we learn that, oh, this is bigger than just fill in the blank, just yoga, just running, just, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I love that. And you're so like inquisitive and so curious anyway. And so I love that that's how it started for you. So
definitely, yeah, that's definitely how my life goes. I'm like, well, what is that? Like, should I do this? What's happening? Like, And then
Yeah.
it kind of just, I feel like that's how most things are. They kind of just end up naturally happening. Your body, your mind just respond in a way, if you're listening, if you've got the tools for it, where you can find that path that works for you, and that's meant for you for your life's journey.
Yeah. Yes. And that's so beautiful, and so true. So thanks for sharing. I always like to ask that question because you get a little information and backstory about, your journey, which brought you to a space of, teaching and where you're at today. So thank you. The next question I want to ask is, as these women come to Transcend Running Retreat for connection, for renewal, for running, they're going to be experiencing some yoga as they're there. So, and they're going to be experiencing some meditation, which is really wonderful, all from you. So talk a little bit about, what can an attendee plan to experience in a yoga session with you, or a meditation session, or even we've talked about adding in some additional Reiki sessions, which is going to be really fun. So kind of share with them just your methodology and kind of how, what an experience would be like to, be taught by you.
So the way I like to teach yoga is really all about mind-body connection. I think a lot of the teachers that I've had too are all about that mind-body connection. So, just like with running, you want to know what your form is like, how you're breathing. You want to be conscious of that stuff. So, I guess taking a yoga session with me or a yoga class with me, we're definitely going to dive a little bit deeper into that. So even as we're kind of relaxing a little bit more, moving into the more restorative, more still poses, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what our bodies are feeling like, or what muscles are kind of relaxing, and how we can send breath into those areas to soften. And then layering on top of that, we can kind of magically see what happens to the mind as it starts to relax as well, just like our bodies, our muscles, our joints, and all of that stuff. And then on top of that, with meditation, so as we're in kind of still poses, we find a meditative quality from time to time. Sometimes it's easier or harder for us, just depending on where we're at. But with the meditation, we can really just tap into finding that stillness of the mind, which it's totally fine if you're a beginner with meditation and that stillness of the mind doesn't happen. It's literally a muscle that we have to find to work and come back and come back and come back to finally know, oh, this is what meditation is, and this is how I can use this meditative quality out in my regular life. So I've had it described to me as, when you're meditating and the mind wanders, that's fine. That happens to even, the best meditators, the best gurus. But what they do is they come back to their breath, or they come back to their mantra to flex the muscle of, letting those thoughts go and softening and just being there and being present with the thought or whatever is happening, the sounds around you, the sound of your breath. So there's that. And then with Reiki, it's kind of being able to receive an energy that you're maybe looking for, or an energy that you didn't even know you were looking for. But I tap into, just from the universe, that positive universal life force energy field, however you want to describe it, and just pull it in through me. It's the light laying of hands, so I'll just kind of send it out through my hands. I'll have it like on the head, the shoulders, down at the feet, and it'll kind of go into the body wherever it's needed. Again, like I said earlier, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, wherever it's needed. So it's kind of like a threefold of like you doing something, moving your body, yoga, you still kind of doing something, but a little more of a softer practice, and then you just being able to be open and receive with Reiki. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for explaining all of that, because I think as women, especially, and one of the core reasons I designed this retreat was because women often serve first. Women often think of others first. Women often put themselves and connection and friendships and themselves on the back burner. And I love that all facets of what you do is this like moment to receive,
Yeah.
moment to allow that energy in, and really practice that. And
Yeah.
so I love that the attendees will get to experience that through you.
Yeah. It's a real like unfolding of connecting to yourself, like
Yeah.
basically how I went through it all. I started yoga, meditation, and then you're at Reiki and you're able to just kind of move around, figure yourself out, and know yourself a little bit better so you can be better out in the universe, be better out with your relationships, your connections, and all of that good stuff as women, so we
Yeah.
can get a little bit better because we've given to ourselves first.
Yes. Yes. Such an important part.
Yeah.
Um, what if somebody's never experienced, Reiki and they want to try it at the retreat? What can you tell us a little bit about, like, maybe just what a newbie, like maybe kind of calm their nerves a little bit about it, because it is different. It is
Yeah.
something that maybe we don't, especially as women, but even just as society, we don't practice a lot. So share just a little bit of tips for saying yes to that and trying it.
Right. So, a few tips to trying it. So, I would generally offer like a 30-minute session for anybody who wanted to try it at the retreat. It's a little bit shorter of a session than like an hour long or past that. And before and after, we can talk as much as you'd like. If you have any like deeper questions or more personal questions or anything you want to chat about, I'll definitely be there to ease anything going on. But I just recently read something on how it was described. So it's like, this is how I describe like distance Reiki, but I think it also fits for like one-on-one, like we're in person Reiki. We're thinking of it as like you're sitting next to your friend and you are both on your phone. If you were to send your friend a text message, they would receive it even though the phones aren't touching.
Mm,
So my hands would be either hovering over a space like your knees, your shoulder, whatever, and or lightly touching it, and the energy would go through the hands. I would connect to the universe, connect to that positive energy, and send it through.
mm,
So beforehand, we kind of talk. If there is anything specific, you're like, hey, I'm having trouble with this, or hey, I have some weird elbow issues, or, I have a headache. I get headaches a lot. We can talk about that. And then I kind of focus all of my energy and kind of spin it in a positive way. And we'll kind of repeat a little mantra for you and send those energetic waves into you. I think when I get one-on-one with a client, it starts to make a little more sense because we can talk beforehand. And then I just kind of give the little advice of be open to receiving. I find that helps a little bit more. And then honestly, just trying it out really makes you understand it a little bit more. Because even before I started out, I was like, what is this? I read about it. Sounds great. Like, I can just lie there and get some healing. Like, awesome. Like, that sounds like I'm going to go get a massage, but for my energy. So, giving it a try, thinking of it as just like getting some positive vibes, like a massage for your energy, getting out any little kinks or whatever, I think is the best way to kind of look at it. But,
yeah,
if you have
those are
questions. I'll be there.
Yeah, those are great tips. And I just like to ask that because, for anyone who may be like, oh, I'm not sure, or, and Amanda's part of our group, so she will be able to, respond to any questions you may have, or if you send her a direct message, she's happy to answer any of those. But I just kind of wanted to touch base on that. So thank you. Well, Amanda, I know that your time is really valuable, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here.
Of
Um,
course.
Before we go, where can people connect with you? If they're local to Indy, is there a place where they can come take classes from you? Tell me a little bit about that so people can connect with you.
Of course. So I work in Greenwood at Studio U Yoga and Pilates. It's on State Road 135. If you look it up, it'll pop right up. And there I do yoga and Reiki by appointment. So if you contact the studio or find it online, you can set up an appointment with me. I also teach, if you're a little bit closer to the city, in Fountain Square at Fountain Square Yoga. They're both on the Mind Body app, so you can see the schedule on there. Obviously, right now there's still some virtual classes and a little less in-person classes, but yeah, you can find me there. You can also find me on Instagram if you just search my name on there, or it's at AAFERRAND. And sometimes I'll have my schedule up on there daily. If you're just like, I want to go find a yoga class, you can go ahead and find me on there, or just check out what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will, thanks for sharing those. I will post all of those under this video and link them in our group so you can see that. And I just want to say thank you so much to you. You've been, like I said at the beginning, a blessing in my life, a blessing in my yoga journey and my healing journey. So I can't wait to share you with everybody.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. Thank you for seeking me out and,
You're
being
so
you.
welcome. So welcome. Well, thank you. And we'll see you in September.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone.
Yay.